I often wonder when I'm watching a movie if I'm doing it right. If I have to go to the bathroom during, did I miss something? If someone coughs over an important part, did I really fully experience the movie? Or what if someone talks or gets up and blocks the screen? If I'm watching a movie at home and someone knocks on the door and I have to pause the movie, did I miss the flow that the filmmakers were working so hard to achieve? Did I have too much on my mind to fully get into it? Or am I seeing this at the wrong time? Did I have to wait another 10 years or did I wait too long? Should I have seen this when I was in high school or 7 years old? But I wasn't 7 years old then, so could I have never really experienced this movie? In some ways, there is a perfect way to watch a movie. To understand certain rules and the way storytelling in film moves and flows. But in other ways, and really in most ways, that's a bunch of shit. The movies can be a wonderful, fun, and populous medium. Or it also can be. To be honest, the movies aren't one thing. They're not meant to be explained and understood as easily as we think they should. And that's probably the biggest problem with our modern interpretation of them. Often if we feel a movie doesn't fit our normal entertainment requirement, it's a failure, as most people feel that's primarily their job, while others want movies to aspire to something higher. And really, they're both right, but what they're wrong about is asking movies to be one thing and not the other. Movies in Hollywood can be fun and dumb entertainment, but it can also be something more. And it can also be both. Getting angry at the movies and art in general, being too much of one thing and not the other, is a limited view of movies that will limit your experience more than the kind of movies that you hate that are limiting off the kind of movies that you love. What makes movies special is variety, and to be introduced to a new world, to new countries, and to adventures you never get to go on. To empathize with someone who we may never meet and whose experience is cut off from our own. One of the things I've always loved about going to the movies is being in a dark theater with a bunch of strangers and actually having a communal experience. Most of the time, these people don't know me or will probably never even like me, but during the movie, we're all together, all watching the same thing, all experiencing the same thing. I worry that with reserved seating, theaters with food service from your seat, and more expensive theaters, that we may move away from that. A medium that started out in America as a medium that could bring the rich, poor, and people of all different races and creeds together has often found a newer way to keep us apart, both socially and economically. But maybe that's how you want to experience the movies, without the guy texting or talking next to you. You want someone who looks like you and will think the same thing about the movies you like. Why be challenged or disrupted when you can be with what you know and enjoy? Why empathize with someone or a movie you don't know when you can see what you're used to with the people you're used to being with? Maybe that is a better way, and the future of movies and the future that everyone really wants. Who am I to say how I like to see the movies is the way you do, and who are you to say that to me? There is no right or wrong way to understand a movie, and even watch it. Do we even watch movies the right way? Is it good to watch a movie within its current context on opening weekend, or is it better to watch a movie divorced from that? The Wizard of Oz is considered the most watched movie ever made, but most people have only seen it on TV and years away from its original context. So far away, we're rarely even thinking of how its context of its release even fits in. And maybe it works better without a context. Maybe that's a better place to be. Or maybe it isn't. And think of how many movies became popular without the context of their release. And think of how many movies need that. I guess there is no real way to understand a movie, or even the perfect way to watch it. I suppose I'm supposed to tell you the right way and explain the right way to watch a movie, or even how to get into movies. And really, there isn't. And there never will be. Probably never should be. Anyone who tells you otherwise, or how movies should or shouldn't work, is usually someone who wants it solved, so they don't have to think so hard to make things make sense. But if you let the movies happen, then you'll happen on some cool stuff. You might not get to watch everything you should, and I might not either, but as long as we're open to whatever the movies throw at us, maybe we can see some good stuff and have a good time while understanding a little more about ourselves. Or we can just get drunk with a cheeseburger while the Death Star explodes and be content with that. Or maybe we won't. I'm Gisriel, and this is Deep Focus.